Hey, it's Elise. I've been sitting on this one for a while because this was discovered by accident when I was trying to tea stain papers for the very first time. And I was getting impatient because the tea was not dark enough, and I was just like way too lazy to go over to my stove, which is like, 3 feet from my desk, and add more tea bags to my thing to make it darker. So instead, I got wood stain and I put it in the water, into the tea water, thinking it would make it a little darker, like maybe coffee stain papers, since I don't have coffee in my house anymore. I just don't drink it enough. So that came, that suddenly did not work like I wanted it to at first, because it wasn't blending. So, probably because it was like, probably an oil-based wood stain, and which I'm guessing, I think a lot of wood stains probably are. But anyway, it was floating on top of the water, and I started wondering, maybe I could do a marbled effect with this wood stain and, swirl it around and mix it all up, and then, dip my papers on top of that, and it worked. And gorgeous papers. So, I'm going to show you all these papers that I'm about to show you are from that day when I was experimenting. And again, this was wood stain. This is the kind of wood stain I had. I literally found this in my, it's Minwax wood finish, penetrates stains and seals. So, yeah, you should probably wear gloves when working with this. So I'm glad I reminded myself of that, because I did not wear gloves when I worked with it last time, and I was covered in wood stain. So yeah, I'll probably put at least one glove on, maybe. Anyway, that's the kind of wood stain I found on my way down to my basement. It was left here by the previous people. So this is wood stain and tea, and as you can see, it does a really cool, let me see if I can focus that a little better, marbled look. Really, really pretty. And I have really crappy McCrappy lighting in my house, so but you can at least get the idea. It's kind of like it looks like coffee colored, but it's maybe a little darker, obviously. But the stain literally just picks up, like it's just like a stain, like an ink or something that would just go into the paper. And it doesn't really go much on the other side. But you can see it picking up and see, so it's really neat to do this. I was tearing pages because I didn't want to have to deal with like a full page, because it was much easier. This one, I love this. This is like my favorite one. It almost looks like Jupiter, like the, I don't know if any of you have seen the pictures of Jupiter's, the storms on Jupiter, as they call it, the swirls of the gas. Oh, that's what it reminds me of. So neat. This was when I think when I started trying to get the rest of the stain off the top of my liquid, so I didn't have a whole lot left, but you can still. But this is when I dipped, and it was toward the end. So you probably can't see on this one, but you can see it in person, but I don't know if you'll be able, but there's actually really light swirling. And my fingernails looked so disgusting These are because I have paint stuck underneath of my nails from earlier today that I have scrubbed out, but it's acrylic, so I have to like scrape it out from under my nails, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do that until I'm all done. So yeah, this one had like kind of two sides. This was a piece of lined paper. I think it looks really cool. The other half of the lined paper. Hoping you can see really well on the marbling that's going down. It's really neat though. This is when I had a ton of stain in the water, in the tea water. It had a ton of it. And initially it did have a really strong wood stainy smell, but these have been sitting, these have been, they don't actually have much of a smell now. And it's been about a week and a half since I've actually done this experiment. So yeah, I literally just have not done the actual video because this was an experimental thing, and the video was hellaciously long, and I was still trying to figure out how the hell I was going to be able to upload from my phone because my device kept telling me that my device didn't have enough storage space and all that crap. So yeah, I ended up deleting the original video where I was experimenting with that. So I didn't make any tea because this is still some leftover ink water I've been playing with, and I decided that at the last minute that I was going to, because those papers I just showed you, the really cool swirls and stuff, that is wood stain in tea. So I wanted to see what happened if I did wood stain in this color. If maybe it would work out, if the red would come through. I also have blue that I can try. And we can also maybe even try it with water if I feel so inclined to do that. So the art doctor is in. All right. That out of the way. And I have several different kinds of papers. Oop, bloop. I already got one in there. Yeah, get that in there. Woo! It is strong. When I did this with the tea, I had orange spice tea, and I was like, oh, it smells so good. And then I dumped wood stain in it, and it didn't smell so good anymore. So you can see it's floating on top, because that's what this does. All in there. Get it all in there. I can do a fairly good impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger. You may or may not hear me do it at some point. Now that I think about it, I probably should use the blue one, because I just now remembered I was dicking with this earlier, and I actually put soap in this. Try this again. There we go. It's not separating as much now. Now you might not be able to see it because it's so dark. I'll just say it looks very similar to the red, only it's actually swirling now. Can you see it? Yeah. See how the red, it wasn't allowing it to swirl because I had soap in it. So yeah, this one is swirling like it's supposed to. So, ooh, look at that. And it's ink, or I mean it's stained, so it's not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna stay there where it got put, because it goes into the paper. So maybe when it's all dry, I'll go back over these so you can see them. But it doesn't take much for it to. You literally barely just. You just get the paper on the surface. You don't dunk it all the way under. You just lightly put it on the surface of the water. See, you don't need to dunk it all the way in. And this one is actually going through the other side. This is the other side. This is the side that I dipped. Side that I didn't. Pretty neat. I like it. Oh my god, I love the ink ones. I think I like the ink better than the tea-dyed ones. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at it. Look at it. Look at them. This is like a frickin'... If paper could be a unicorn of miraculousness, this would be pretty much, this would be it. Look at that. This is the side that I didn't dip in the water. So the ink actually is even cooler than the tea-dyed paper, tea ones. You could use either side of these. Badass. Boop. That one looks more like it has the measles, but it's still cool. Because I haven't swirled it again, so now it's like doing kind of dots. That one almost looks like a leopard or like a trout skin. I don't know. Yeah, I'd say more like a trout skin. That's kind of neat. I like that. It's cool. That's like the best impression I can do of of a southern accent. That's neato. Neato. Still have some in there that I can use up. Beautiful. Yeah, I'll have to. But it's stained. It's stained paper. So if you do drop it in the water like I just did, it's not going to come off. Those marks are still there. Right where they were. Because it automatically goes into the paper. So. So you could probably even layer these as you dip them. You could probably do multiple layers of it. And it has a bluish tint instead of a brown one because it's blue ink instead of tea. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Oh, I need to get that off my hands. Let me see. Sorry, I had to do that. A little random, I know. My bad. So, I did ink dye some coffee filters, which I did. I do have a video somewhere that showed me doing that. Might have gotten a little too much in there. That's all right. Let's take some out. Whew. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Ah. Oh my gosh, I love this. Look at this. Look at that. Can you see it? Can you? Can you? I can't know. I can't tell. Yeah, you can see it. It's neat. You can, as you can tell, this is a coffee filter. So there we go. Right there. Beautiful. Okay, so I don't want to go over 30. So I'm gonna do a few more little pages and then I will call it good, because I don't want to take up a ton of time. What in the hell did I do with that one book page that I had? I pushed pause, and now I have gloves on. Oh yeah, I had some scraps from a old book paper that I wanted to use up. So book paper works really, really good. It looks like look kind of like a giraffe, like a giraffe hide. I just made faux giraffe. That does kind of look like giraffe, like the giraffe prints. Sweet. And this is why my fingers were covered in ink last when I did this, because I was swirling my ink, my wood stain with my fingers. Balls. I want to get it on my clothes. Okay. Pretty. So yeah, I'll probably blow dry these, and then I will show you the end of that, what it looks like. I'm just trying to use up the last of the stain that's in here. See, swirly. And that's when there's barely, I barely have any in there. It's doing that swirly action too. Still does the swirlies even with a little tiny in there. Like that. That's what I wanted. The very faint amount of wood stain that's left on the surface. That won't show up on the other side because there's do the other side. So yeah, I'm going to stop this video and I'll blow dry those and then show you the results. Okay, so I've my god, I can't talk. I've dried my papers, at least for the most part. They're dry enough. Because, you know, initially that ink was like really, really dark. So I'll just start showing them to you. Hopefully you'll be able to see them somewhat. My thumb won't get in the way. This is the book paper. It looks so cool. I think this one might be my favorite. That's the side I didn't dye, or that I didn't dip. This is the side that got dipped. This one is very faint because it was like just the film remnants, as is this one. Still has swirls, but it might be hard to see those on my camera, on my phone. This was like the very first one that I did when I had way too much of the stain in the water. And these kind of have a cool little feel to them. And some of that oil stuff will come out. It'll come off. Especially this one just had a pretty saturated amount on it. Can you see it? It looks like it's out of focus. Doop. There you go. I need like this fancy music playing in the background as I show you these papers. One that I wouldn't get in trouble for like copyright reasons. Another book paper one. This was like book paper that was in the attic, and it's really aged. This one I think I dipped both sides. Like this one too. So pretty. It's got like a little blue tint. And then this is that coffee filter that I did. The other side. So yeah, and this, whoops, that's from a previous thing. This would work not just with leftover, because that was like leftover ink pad ink that was all dried up and crappy, but this would work with acrylics and water. It would work with just water. You would only, your paper would stay the white, and then you just have all the swirls of the ink stain or the wood stain. Yeah, it would work with pretty much any liquid. So they're really, really neat. I love these. And I kind of wish that I hadn't put soap in that leftover red ink. So really simple. If you happen to have leftover wood stain, awesome. If not, I'm guessing you could probably find some cheap ones at the, at the place where they keep that, or whatever you may have around you. I'm sure there's probably other things that would work. So, but I haven't really tested anything else out yet. But at any rate, I like the effects of this wood stain, so that's where I'm going to, that's where I'm going to leave it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of short tutorial. It's very simple, really pretty fun to do, and I mean, there's really so many color options that you could do as, background for this, for the wood stain. So yeah, if you guys do this technique, I would love to see what you got. And if you guys happen to experiment with other things that, you know, float on top of other liquids that do cool effects like that you want to share, go ahead and leave me a comment, and I would love to try it out. And well, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or comment, whatever you want to do. And thank you so much for watching.